Hello and welcome to the BA Knowledge Share. In this episode, we continue with underlying competencies, specifically around communication skills. So without further ado, let's get started. So communication skills is section 9.4 in the BABOK guide. So what is communication? Communication is the act of a sender conveying information to receiver in a method which delivers the meaning the sender intended. So active listening skills help to deepen understanding and trust between the sender and the receiver. Effective communication benefits all stakeholders. Communication may be accomplished using a variety of delivery methods: verbal, nonverbal, physical, and written. Most communication methods deal with words, while some methods deal with movements and expressions. Words, gestures, and phrases may have different meanings to different individuals. Effective communication involves both the sender and receiver possessing the same understanding of the information being communicated. A shared glossary of terms and clear goals are effective tools to avoid misunderstandings and resulting complications. When planning to communicate information, the following considerations may be helpful. Consider what the receiver knows or does not know. Structure the information in a logical, comprehensible manner. Determine how to best present the information to convey the intended meanings. Understand the expectations of the recipients. Now, communication skills core competencies include verbal communication, nonverbal, written communications, and listening. So there's four competencies as part of communication skills that a business analyst should be good at. So the first part of it is verbal communication. Verbal communication, as anything we do on a day-to-day basis, conveys ideas, concepts, facts, and opinions to a variety of stakeholders. Verbal communication uses spoken words to convey information from the sender to the receiver. Verbal communication skills are used to express business analysis information, ideas, concepts, facts, and opinions. Communication in general is critical for a business analyst because that's where you are as a business analyst, understanding requirements, conveying solutions, conveying thoughts, getting ideas and understanding problems that the business may express. So communication plays a critical role in engaging your business partners as well as your team in general. Now, verbal communication is different than nonverbal communication. Verbal communication is the spoken word or the speech, versus nonverbal is the body language, the hand gestures, things of that sort. So for verbal communication, the effectiveness measures are restating concepts to ensure all stakeholders clearly understand the same information. So, as an example, after a meeting or a discussion, summarize the information that was discussed. Make sure that what you understood is as the outcome is the same as what the stakeholders understood. Assisting conversations to reach productive conclusions. So, as an example, you could be in meetings where conversations are going haywire, right? So, how do you, as a business analyst, assist in bringing the conversation to the objective of the meeting? Delivering effective presentations by designing and positioning content and objectives appropriately. You could be asked to make a presentation on a project. So how do you go about effectively communicating your points across to the audience based on who your audience is? The last one is communicating an issue's important points in a calm and rational manner and presenting solution options. So an example could be you're in a meeting, there's a heated conversation. How do you maintain your calm and cool and think rationally from a data perspective and kind of move the ball forward? So verbal communication becomes a critical tool that a business analyst needs to add to their tool set. Nonverbal communication. Now that's different, right? So I mentioned that that's your body gestures, your movements, your eye contact. So in this day and age of COVID, This may not be as easily available, but there are certain things that you could use, like the tone of someone's voice, to assess either um, whether a stakeholder is upset, stakeholder is happy. So those are the sorts of cues that you need, apart from the verbal communication, to understand the whole picture. From a definition perspective, nonverbal communication typically focuses on words that are written or spoken. Nonverbal communication, however, is believed to convey much more meaning than words alone. Things like moods, attitudes, and feelings impact body movement and facial expressions. Nonverbal communication begins immediately when one person is able to see another. So that's another key to understanding emotions, and it's key and it's critical for a business analyst to understand those in order to assess whether people saying stuff are actually meaning what they say. Effectiveness measures is being aware of body language and others, but not assuming complete understanding through nonverbal communication. So don't just rely on nonverbal communication. Look at the whole 360 view of verbal and nonverbal. Intentional awareness of personal nonverbal communication, improving trust and communication as a result of nonverbal communication, and effectively addressing and resolving situations when a stakeholder's nonverbal communication does not agree with their verbal message. The third core competency is written communication. The written communication is used to convey ideas, concepts, facts, and opinions to a variety of stakeholders. The definition is of written communication is the practice of using text, symbols, models, and sketches to convey and share information. An understanding of the audience is beneficial to effectively use written communication. So, as an example, you may find that email may not be the best method of written communication to get your point across. Email can only go so far, it's a very static sort of medium. You may find that there's a follow-up meeting needed, and to make that meeting effective, you may end up using things like a visual data flow diagram, or you may have like a whiteboard session. So in today's day and age, you can use a paint tool to whiteboard out your ideas and thoughts. So those are the sorts of written communications that could be effective. Some of the effectiveness measures are adjusting the style of writing for the needs of the audience, proper use of grammar and style, choosing words the audience will understand the intended meaning of, and ability of the reader to paraphrase and describe the content of the written communication. So the next one is listening. Now, it is very difficult to listen as well as to elicit requirements. However, experience will help you as a business analyst build those listening skills to really pinpoint, well, is the stakeholder giving me requirements by using the word I want? Okay, so those are certain cues that you as a business analyst will get used to, understanding what are requirements versus what's noise. The definition of listening is a process of not just hearing words, but understanding their meaning and context. So it refers to comprehension and listening comprehension. As a business analyst, you not only have a greater opportunity to accurately understand what is being communicated, but also to demonstrate that they think what the speaker is saying is important. Some of the effectiveness measures are giving the speaker undivided attention, acknowledging the speaker with verbal and nonverbal encouragement, providing feedback to the person of the group that is speaking to ensure there is an understanding, and using active listening skills by deferring judgment and responding appropriately. So those are the core skills that are needed for communication. So let's kind of summarize what we just went over. So in terms of communication skills, there's four core competencies. One is verbal communication. We spoke about speaking and and engaging folks in a dialogue. We spoke about nonverbal communication, which is your body language. And I would say verbal plus nonverbal communication gives you the full picture of what a stakeholder is saying or what folks are saying. The next core competency is written communication. This goes to emails, anything that's text-based, written, drawn. This could be a data flow diagram to express, communicate your ideas across. And the last one is listening, which is difficult. And active listening is difficult, but it's a skill set that you can build and build it to the point that you are not just listening for the sake of listening, but you are listening for comprehension and understanding. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. Please do subscribe to this channel if you do find value. And please do visit our website at baknowledgeshare.com. Until next time, thank you.